guys, I'm back for another video like I said I would, so this is quite impressive doing, you know, 2 videos in 2 days when I only did like 1 in like 6 months. But no, so obviously this is going to be about last night's episode of Raw, which I personally thought was really good, so you know, again, this could go against what everyone else thinks, because yeah, the comments on my like video suggest that everyone either, you know, was like, oh, welcome back, but I still don't agree with what you're saying, but that's fine, because obviously I knew that I was kind of giving a different opinion to what everybody else seems to think at the moment. The only thing I will say though, is that if anybody else says that the only reason I like it is because WWE is appealing to women and children, I will I won't be impressed. I was like, what? Everyone knows that I'm not like, you know, I don't even know what consists as the typical like, you know, women that like, you know, like the product supposedly. Like, I don't know what women are like supposed to like. Does that mean that we're supposed to be like children and like the same things? Because that's certainly not the case, and I've always kind of wondered, you know, what that means. Does that literally just mean because John Cena's on it, that's good, so therefore women just like John Cena? I have no idea. I really don't know. Oh, I'm just like knocking baking trays over. But yeah, no, I have no idea what that's actually supposed to mean, to say, you know, oh, it's appealing to women at the moment, because, you know, it's not. But anyway, moving on, yeah, and also I'm in the kitchen because like the lighting in my room has just like gone like really dark for some reason. I think the sun's like, not that there is much sun at the moment, but it's on the outside of the house, so my room's like really dark, so I come out kind of orange in the kitchen because of the lighting in here as well, which is slightly annoying, but you know. And I've also got a cold today, so I sound like, you know, awful, so if I have to keep stopping to like cough and breathe, I do apologise. I can't talk at my normal speed because it's just making me feel worse. But no, I really enjoyed Raw last night. I actually started watching it live, but I fell asleep, not because it was bad, but just because I was like really tired, you know. I managed the first hour, but then I was just like, oh, I'm exhausted, so I just went to bed. But the start of Raw was John Cena, so no surprises there really that, you know, Cena was going to be, you know, the first person to appear on Raw in 2013. You know, just his normal kind of gimmicky kind of self, talking about the stuff that's coming up, you know, to look forward to, like Royal Rumble, Rock returning and that. But then Ziggler, AJ and Big E Langston, it's not Big E Langston, interrupt, and they just have like a back and forth conversation, which was a bit lame. Cena makes some lame jokes, but Ziggler then just says that, you know, Cena, after he loses, all he does is like laugh it off and run, you know, he doesn't, you know, yeah, which is kind of what he does, like, you know, like when he like lost to like Rock, he didn't, you know, really change much. He just kind of, you know, said, oh, well done Rock, and carried on. And this would like, you know, he lost to Ziggler, but he's just making jokes and stuff, and he's not really taking it seriously that he actually lost. But then Ziggler said that he's going to enter the Royal Rumble, so he's going to win, you know, the championship, but Cena then challenges Ziggler. Ziggler doesn't want to fight, but then Big E Langston, like, accepts the challenge on Ziggler's behalf, so Ziggler and AJ are like, what are you doing? I think that's the first time that Langston's actually, like, spoke on Raw, so he looked quite nervous. I'll say that. But anyway, so first match obviously was Cena versus Dolph Ziggler. It was really odd because there's like no commentary feed for like the first half of the match. It was just really kind of like strange because you could see that the commentators were talking, but then you just couldn't actually hear them, which was slightly odd. So whether that was just a technical hitch or something. But AJ slaps Cena, so AJ and Langston get sent away. Match carries on for a little bit. Dolph hits a who's that? Oh, there's just a big, you know, tractor, like, driving past at the moment. Anyway, so match carries on, you know, it's pretty close, you know, no real kind of definite kind of winner. Cena goes to the AA, but it gets counted into a nice super kick, but that only gets a 2. Ziggler puts Cena in the sleeper hold, but Cena manages to like throw Ziggler off, but knocks him into the referee, so it's a ref bump, and while the ref's out, Big E Langston comes down and hits his finishing move, which I don't know what it's called, on Cena, but Cena manages to kick out and he hits the attitude adjustment for the win. I laughed at like the raging Dolph Ziggler fan in the crowd that they showed like after like Ziggler had lost. That was quite amusing, and I don't know why Cena didn't have any shoes on. That's also, I just pick up on these like really random things in matches, but no, so that was a good opening match. The opening segment was a bit odd, but this match was actually quite good. Divas match, Eve versus Caitlyn. See, again, like, I thought this was quite a decent match really, considering. What the hell was that? Just some random noises. I thought it was quite a decent match really. Obviously, I really thought Caitlyn was going to get the win, but Eve just, you know, does her usual heel tactic and escapes and gets counted out. Seriously, what is that? Some like really loud clanging noise outside the house. But yeah, so she gets counted out, so Caitlyn obviously wins but doesn't actually win the title. I laughed at the fact that someone was holding a sign of like the grumpy cat in the audience, because I was just reading Grumpy Cat's tweets before while I was waiting for Raw to start, so I thought that was quite amusing. Another weird fact for the day. So then we have tag team match, Team Hell No facing Team Rose Scholars. Kane nearly fell off the top rope because couldn't get his balance right to do his diving clothesline, which was amusing. But then Daniel Bryan tries to do a top rope move, but he lands awkwardly on his knee. which allows, you know, Rose Scholars to like start like light attacking on the leg, but then Cody Rhodes gets the win on Daniel Bryan with the crossroads. Randy Orton versus Heath Slater was next. At the start of this, I kind of thought, oh, it's like Heath, you know, it seems to be getting a push. He's actually having like decent long matches with kind of more upper card wrestlers. Heath actually did have the advantage, surprisingly, for quite a while in this match. Orton hits the superplex on him though, followed by the power slam and the RKO, but obviously gets the win. But the other guys in the 3MB try to help him out, but they just get RKO'd for their trouble as well. And then backstage, Sheamus is doing like an interview and they come along. He also, you know, says that he's going to face like one of them in the ring and he's going to try and bro kick all of them. Obviously, yeah, so I'm assuming that's going to be meaning that they're kind of leading towards a Sheamus versus Randy Orton kind of feud. Obviously, by the sounds of that, it's almost like Sheamus was trying to outdo Randy Orton because, you know, he RKO'd all of them, so he was going to try and bro kick them all. So that could be interesting, could mean possibly that Sheamus might retain, or face, yeah, might win the title beforehand, or Orton could win and they could face each other at WrestleMania. We'll see, I wouldn't mind that, that would be quite a good feud, I think. Wade Barrett then faced Santino Marella with Ricky Steamboat. Just a bit of a nothing match, really. Wade won with the, I don't know what it's called now, is it Bullhammer elbow? Souvenir elbow? I've lost count of how many different times they've like named that move. And then afterwards he goes to, he almost looks like he's going to try and attack Steamboat, but Steamboat gets all up in his face and Wade Barrett leaves. Great Khali faced Antonio Cesaro. Miz was on commentary, so it looks like Miz and Cesaro are feuding. Now, Cesaro wins with a neutralizer. Like, I know I said in my last video that I'm not really a massive fan of him. I will have to admit that was quite impressive. He actually managed to hit the neutralizer on the Great Khali, seeing as, you know, he's so big. So then we had Sheamus versus Jinder Mahal. I don't know why I've just written lol on my notes, just I think, oh, because it was a bit of a comedy match as well. My notes aren't really great, I just write like things like lol and stuff. Yeah, another like fairly decent length match, to be honest, seeing as it had Jinder Mahal in it. But Jinder had the advantage, but then Heath interferes. Sheamus takes out both of them, hits a bro kick on Drew and Heath Slater on the outside, and then hits White Noise and bro kick on Jinder to get the win. So that was, you know, not too bad. I wasn't really going to complain, at least Jinder Mahal didn't win. So then we have the TLC match, because on the internet some people have put in spoilers that the TLC match was going to come on first. Now I think that would have been just been a bit like kind of odd, and I'm also going to get to the point as well about The Rock after I've kind of actually spoken about what happened. So obviously TLC match, CM Punk versus Ryback for the title. Obviously I was looking forward to this one. Kind of, you know, obviously because it was on Raw, obviously it had to be shorter than like a normal TLC match, but it still fairly had a decent length of time as well. They got quite like straight away like into like the weapon kind of like usage. Normally in TLC matches, you know, they'll like fight normally to start with and then move on, but because of obviously the time restraint, they just went straight into using weapons. Nasty suplex onto a ladder by Ryback on Punk. That was nice. Punk works on Ryback's legs with a chair, obviously to, you know, stop him from being able to climb the ladder. Punk manages to escape. What is Ryback's finisher called? I haven't had like a really stupid thick moment and I can't remember what it's called. But another vehicle driving past. I can't remember what it's called, but he manages to escape and then tricks Ryback to come outside, and Ryback goes to spear Punk, but Punk just moves the table in front, so he ends up spearing the table. Punk goes to climb the ladder, but doesn't, so they fight on the top of the ladder, and Ryback chunks Punk onto because the ladder kind of fell down, so it was like resting on the ropes, and Punk got chucked onto it, landed like back first, which was quite nasty. The ladder got completely bent out of shape. Punk then has the advantage for a while. He hits the high knee, but there's a table set up outside, so Ryback just throws him over the top rope through the table, which is nice. Obviously everyone like really thought Ryback was going to win here. You could just see the crowd went like crazy after that happened. Ryback almost got to the top, but then the lights went out and you were like, okay, something dodgy's going on. And when the lights came back on, the Shield were at the top of the ladder as well, so they kind of like knocked or tried to knock Ryback off. He knocked Ambrose and Rollins off, but then Roman Reigns pulled Ryback down. He managed to throw them out of the ring, but they all just get back in and attack him again. I'm losing my voice. I hate having a cold, it's really annoying. Yeah, and then they, like, the move, the powerbomb that they've been doing on Ryback for the last like few weeks, they do that again to him through a table which is on the steel steps, so that just completely lays him out, and Punk, you know, really slowly like crawls in the ring and crawls up the ladder and like just pulls off the belt like it's the greatest victory, you know, like he's been through such a battle, and completely like overplays it, which is amazing. Heyman's like on the outside just like crying, you know, because he's like, oh, you're amazing, and it was good. I liked that. I thought that was quite a nice touch to, you know, add to it to make it look like, you know, they he'd done all the work when it was actually obviously the Shield again. So obviously the whole Shield Punk Ryback saga continues, which is good because it's, you know, like I think if Punk just defeated Ryback clean, it'd be a bit like, ugh, but obviously this means that even now that Punk is kind of feuding with like The Rock, they can still like kind of come back to it after, because obviously everyone just wants to see Punk get destroyed by Ryback. Come on, even if you don't like the guy, everybody wants to see that happen. So you know, so then obviously they have like a quick match. Literally a quick match in between like the TLC match and this segment with The Rock. So Kofi faced Big Show, but literally Big Show won in like seconds with like the knockout punch, so I was like, fair enough. But then CM Punk said that before The Rock got a chance to come out, he was going to come out himself again and like give like a new pipe bomb. So he basically says that pipe bomb gets thrown around a lot, that term, but it actually just means being honest. He said obviously when he did the pipe bomb last July, he obviously was being honest then, and he's obviously going to be honest now, and he just said that the truth about WWE is that there is a glass ceiling that people just can't break through, and it's only like people who like are backed by like the WWE universe can actually be successful, e.g. Brodus Clay can only get successful by dancing with like children. That sounds weird, but you know, and obviously Daniel Bryan by doing his like whole like gimmicky thing, and he said it's disgusting that little Jimmy has more airtime on Raw than like Tyson Kidd, for example. So obviously that was quite good, and he said that no one can be successful without the people until now, obviously meaning himself. He said that, you know, he's done it like without them, he doesn't need their support, and he's going to still stay like on top. He's successful in spite of them. It's quite funny that like, the camera guy was trying to say, or the camera guy, the person at the ringside was trying to say they need to go to a commercial break, and he was like, you don't go to a commercial break just because you want to, you don't go until I say that there can be a commercial break. But obviously they still went to a commercial break, so anyway, I'm just like rambling now. But then anyway, so he's basically then starts calling everyone losers, like the people. So The Rock comes out, gets quite a relatively big cheer, considering it's like in Florida. He says that Punk is delusional, and in 20 days at the Royal Rumble his time's going to be up. He says that he like CM Punk didn't reject the people rejected him, and that he says that he is back for 3 reasons: to entertain the people, to stop Punk, and to win the title. Yeah, so then obviously Rock kind of does like his, I'm not going to obviously say in detail, but he does like his normal kind of like jokey kind of stuff about like CM Punk, says he's, you know, pretty much going to like kick his ass, and then CM Punk says, you know, that that's the difference between them, like Rock's like all like making like jokes and stuff, and CM Punk doesn't need that, he doesn't need to make jokes, doesn't need to make fun of people, he's just in, you know, he's like intense and he's just gonna, you know, beat The Rock basically. And then obviously then The Rock goes like serious for like the last minute of his promo, and he does, yeah, say that, you know, basically at the Royal Rumble he's going to win, and then he rock bottoms Punk to finish the show with. So obviously, because, you know, last time obviously Punk GTS'd him, so now they're kind of like level, kind of like pegging as such. So, you know, it's quite a good segment. Obviously, like I said last time, like when Rock was around, you can tell he's not quite as his promos aren't as good now as they used to be. I thought CM Punk was, I mean, it wasn't bad, it wasn't a bad promo, but some bits I thought, you know, this is kind of like dragging a little bit. I was never one for like the whole, and like with like the chat about the ice cream and all that kind of stuff, you know, that didn't really interest me at all. But it was still quite a good promo anyway. Obviously I'm looking forward to that match, obviously it should be really good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not like, you know, saying that I'm not looking forward to it, because I am. Just thought that the promo could have been like slightly better. And I've seen like people on Facebook and stuff like complaining like, oh, The Rock didn't come out until like the last segment, I had to wait like 3 hours to see him. Well, did you really think they're going to put him on first? No. That's like the whole point, you know, they're obviously building to The Rock coming back. They're not just going to have him in the first segment and then go, and then that's it, because, you know, they're just not going to do that, you know. That's the whole point, anticipation, building it all up and whatever. And I think it worked really well, and I think I was glad that the TLC match wasn't like dead first either, because I think, you know, that would have made like the rest of the show kind of like, not like filler, because I'm not saying that it was like bad like the other matches, but that's like the whole point. The placement of matches and segments like that can be quite important in like how the show goes. So if they'd have had all the stuff that people were really waiting for first, then the rest of the show would probably have fallen flat on its face. But it didn't. I enjoyed it. I thought the whole show was good. Like I say, it didn't skip anything. I really enjoyed it. Everyone else probably hated it, because I've already seen lots of negative like things about it already. But no, I think it was a good starting build to the Royal Rumble. Actually, yeah, because like previous years, I think like the Royal Rumble has felt like it's got like a lot of like jobbers in it, really. Like either one or two like proper, you know, like top superstars, and then like all the rest of them, you're like, well, no, they've got like no chance of winning. But this year they've actually got quite a lot of decent ones in. Obviously, you've got Sheamus, Randy Orton, Cena, Ziggler. I'm assuming like, you know, Miz is probably going to be in it. Daniel Bryan. You know, there's quite a lot of people that really could actually win it, so that's good. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now because I've been going on for ages. But no, like I say, I can't say what my next video is going to be. I might do a SmackDown review this week, but I've got a lot of plans for the rest of the week, meeting up with people and sorting wedding stuff. So if I do a video this week, I do. If not, it might not be now till the Royal Rumble, but I'm just going to leave it as that with my video schedule, that it'll just be whenever I can and whenever I feel like doing a video. Literally, as I started to record this video, my brother came in here and was like, I've got 3 wrestling questions to answer you, and you have to get them all right. And it was all about Goldberg, and I'm like, I didn't write Goldberg, Nathan. I didn't watch WCW, absolutely hated Goldberg, so I don't know. So now he's like disappointed in me and said that I'm not a proper wrestling fan, apparently, because I don't know enough about Bill Goldberg. He said that he'd like gatecrash my video like sometime and he'd be happy to answer any questions about Bill Goldberg. I was like, okay then. He doesn't even like wrestling anymore, so I don't even know what he's talking about, to be honest. But no, that was a little random piece of information for you there. Anyway, I am going to go now. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!